echoes of the deep wilds. The outpost of Grask Tholar stood like a scar at the world's edge. Black pikes formed its perimeter, jagged ironwood trunks carved into spears to ward off the creeping living jungle. Beyond its walls stretched the great wilds, a place not mapped, not named in full. Trees the size of towers, glowing faintly from within, breathed strange mist into the morning air. Warriors, scholars, and hunters made up the outpost, all bound to the same purpose: to study, to understand, and when needed, to bleed. Grask Tholar was not a place of comfort. It was a place of questions. Suspended in a cage of bone and vine above the central courtyard, the heart of a jungle beast, veined with glowing blue, beat slowly, defiantly. Its energy was the same that ran through the great trees, the same that hummed in the deepest roots. Some called it the deep flow. Others, in older tongues, named it netra blood or breath sap. No one could say what it was, but all felt it. Keta stood below the heart, her fingers ink-stained and shaking. Her journal hung open on her hip, dozens of rough sketches filling the pages. She had skinned beasts, boiled spores, burned roots. But this was more than study. "It's not just inside them," she whispered. "It is them." Behind her, Druvak let out a short laugh. His axe rested against his shoulder, dull with dried gore. "You say that every time you stare at blood." "Because every time it's more true," Keta shot back. Nima sat cross-legged on the earth nearby, her face painted in ash and root dye. Small bones clinked in her hair. Her eyes were half-lidded, trance-heavy. "It sings in my dreams," she murmured. "Same rhythm, same pulse, like it's teaching me to breathe again." Vargan, the fourth, said nothing. He stood near the gate, staring into the trees. His face was shadowed by an old scar that ran from brow to jaw. A hunter first, then a survivor. He trusted instinct, not scripture. He spoke only once that morning. Tracks fresh. They found the trail half a league east. Clawed prints the size of shields sank into the loam, four-toed, front-heavy. Something immense had passed through. Not alone. Keta crouched beside one, measuring depth, marking the stride. 5, maybe more, moving together, not a stampede. "Flank pattern," Druvak muttered. "Pack hunters." Nima touched the print, shivered. "This close to the outpost. They're watching." They followed the trail for hours, and it led them further away from the wilds, closer to land that was considered safe. By dusk, they smelled blood. The village of Korman was gone. Huts shattered, spears snapped, blood soaked the roots. The defenders had died hard, but not well. There was no time. Bones lay in circles, surrounded, cut off. But it was the precision that chilled Keta most. The paths the beasts took, the formation of the attack, the way they broke the lines, coordinated. Not beasts, soldiers. They found 7 survivors in a hidden cellar beneath a butcher's hut, buried beneath rotting hides to mask their scent. 2 adults, 5 children. One of the men's arms was gone. The stump was wrapped in hide, oozing dark. He clutched Vargan's cloak. "They let us run." They watched us run like they were learning. Keta insisted. They had to bring one back, a live specimen. The king demanded knowledge, not just blood. Druvak fought her on it. "We save the children. We burn the bodies. We leave." Nima stayed silent. Vargan agreed with no one, only stared into the dark. "You don't understand," Keta snapped. This energy, it's not a weapon. It's a system. The beasts, the trees, the soil, they're not separate. We need to know how deep it runs. You won't learn anything if your throat's in its mouth, Druvak growled. But they built the trap. The beast fell into the pit just before dawn. Massive, fast, four-legged, black-scaled with a shimmer of oil. Its eyes were not wild. They were aware. Chains bound its limbs. A bone hook lodged in its jaw. It didn't scream. It hummed. The others came fast. 3, 4, 10. They circled the pit but did not charge. They watched, then vanished. At Grask Tholar, they called it victory. Scholars gathered, scribes chanted. The beast was lowered into the courtyard. It stared at them all. The same glow shimmered in its chest. Kata wrote for hours. Diagrams, notes, theories. That night, Nima woke screaming. It called them. The trees pulsed faster. The jungle moved. And the creature in the courtyard lifted its head and sang. The beasts came as one. Hundreds. Not just one species, but many. Different beasts working together. Eyes glowing, claws flashing. Some taller than the towers, some slithering through the ground like serpents. Grask Tholar's walls crumbled. Fire bloomed. Bone cracked. Keta wrote as the gate fell. It let us take it. It was never alone.